Hey guys, I just finished giving the garden a little soaking, extra soaking, and I thought, you know, it is about time for an August garden tour. So let's do that. Show you around. So there are definitely some great things going on in the garden, and for sure some not so great things, but some of the great things are all of these gorgeous sunflowers, including my first of the teddy bear sunflowers has finally bloomed, which is exciting. So these guys are all doing great. I have been picking calendula like crazy, so I will have a lot of that to experiment with. And then these tomatoes are doing quite well. I came out and did some thinning, tried to do some thinning, but they are so thick, I wasn't able to tell what was a branch versus what was a fruit-bearing branch. So I just tied them up as best I could and hope for the best. But look at how much fruit is on these bushes. It's just, they are thick with it. And these guys have not quite started ripening. I'm guessing a couple more weeks probably. But considering I was thinking I wasn't going to get anything off of these bushes, I am thrilled. Absolutely thrilled. I mean, look at that. Look at how much is in there. So cool. And they're small plants. I mean, it's like not even 2 feet tall, I don't think, but yeah, they're doing great. Look at this sunflower. Look at how many heads it has. It just keeps going and going. I love it. And then all of my mammoths that have blossomed are now doing this. And I hope, I probably should cover the heads because I would love to save seeds. They just did so well. Just such cool plants. And it's a bummer that they only do a single head, flower head, but they're so magnificent that I'm definitely planting them again. And yeah, and then down here, I actually have picked some of these guys. And this is an Ace 55 tomato, and it is supposed to be a paste tomato. So they're huge too. And these ones are starting to blush, but they're big tomatoes, which is awesome. Oh goodness, it looks like there are a couple ripe ones back there. I'll have to come back for them. That is the danger of not thinning, is you can miss tomatoes. Can you see that guy back there? He's not really ripe, but that one hidden in the grass is. Anyway, we will get to it. But yeah, they are doing great, and all of them have tomatoes. And then my rhubarb, especially this guy, has been doing great. More of my beautiful calendula. They're just so pretty. Look, the bees just love them. So much fun to see all of the pollinators. All right, and then for some of the not so great, the dill is doing great. I'm actually finally letting it go to seed. Let's see, yeah, here's one that's nice, getting nice and dried. So I actually have to look up and see like how long you're supposed to leave it on here before you take it off. I'm guessing I should probably take it off now and let it finish drying in the house. And the tomatillos, they have been doing great. They are still producing a lot. And I've already made one batch of salsa verde, and I have freeze dried a bunch. And there's still tons on here that are coming on. So they're great. They're not so great. My cucumbers. I have no idea. I have no idea what happened to them. But the crazy thing is, they keep growing. Like, this is all brand new growth that looks fairly healthy. And the only thing I could think is if you look at the leaves, I think you can tell, it's yellowing, but the veins are still fairly green. And apparently that means lack of iron. So I have been, for the last 2 weeks, fertilizing with a fertilizer that has specifically iron in it. So I'm kind of wondering if this new growth is because of that. I don't know. It's just so crazy that, I mean, look at how terrible those are. And yet, brand new growth at the top. Flowers. It's so crazy to me. One of them is doing excellent. This guy right here, he's just loving life. So, go for it, dude. I'm actually now winding him around at the top of the wire that's supposed to be holding just the strings that they go up. But yeah, he's doing great. And let's see, I think I picked all of the ones on, oh, there's one right there. So I'm trying to pick them about this size, and I have just a crock in the fridge that I am keeping full, and I just add to it as I pick them. All right, peppers are doing really well. I actually picked most of my bell peppers, but you can see some back in there. I'm hoping to get another flush of those. My sugar rush peach, all of these are just loaded with fruit, which is amazing. And then these guys here are paprikas. You can see over here, one of them is getting a little red. So they've just, as they've been ripening, I pick them and I'm just letting them dry on the counter, and I'll turn them into powder, paprika powder. And then look at this massive Cosmo. This is a single plant. It's just amazing. So cool. And the blooms are just, I love them. They're so fluffy. So pretty. So I am deadheading them. Oh, look at that big bumblebee. Oh, that's so cool. All right, so this is the garlic bed that I did after I cleaned it out. I put in some new starts. So these 3 here are pumpkins, and I highly doubt I'm actually going to get anything from them because we're just not going to have enough time. And then I have several zucchini plants that are actually doing quite well, and a bunch of broccoli that's getting eaten alive by all these bloody moths. Oh, they just love it. So we'll see. It's also a little bit warm, like this one. I mean, it's already tried to head, and that's its head. So I think I probably put them out way too early. But lessons learned. The strawberries all along there are also doing well. I'm starting to get a second flush of those, which is fun. And then, oh wait, I gotta show you. So lavender is notoriously difficult to start. Supposedly it requires stratification, so it needs to have a cool session. Anyway, I started these and I did not do the stratification thing, and they came up and they are actually blooming. I just am pretty proud of myself. So yeah, good and bad. That's what part and parcel of having a garden. And then these 3 guys, well, that one's not doing so great. These 2 are the 2 that I just took the branches off of one of my other ones, one of the, you know, the guys that come out of the side that you don't want to grow. And I rooted them in water and put them in the ground, and look, they have tomatoes. So it's kind of fun. All right, then the other bad. Well, wait, we'll do good first. This doesn't look great, but surprisingly it is. So this is my chamomile, and it was probably almost to the same height as the corn, but it was just looking really, really bad, wasn't blooming much, so I just hacked it all off and thought, well, maybe it'll come back and do a second flush, and it has. And I just picked last night, so there's not much left right now, but there's tons of blooms in there, bloom heads. So yeah, it actually did kind of give it a second life, which is awesome. The corn, on the other hand, I believe that it also suffered from the iron issue, and I was just too late getting it ironed. So I highly doubt I'm gonna get any corn. We do have some ears, but these tassels have been up for like weeks, and so I highly doubt that there's any, and there's no silks yet on the ears. So yeah, I think this is probably a total loss, but it was fun to grow, and I'll try again next year. And then these are my carrots and celery. And my celery that looked like it was going to be a complete fail back in June, I cut it all off, and I've got some amazing lush growth going on here. So it won't be a big second harvest because these are all fairly small, but I'll definitely get a second harvest, which is fun. And all of my herbs are doing really well. And then these tomatoes also are doing excellent. So these are the ones that got hit the hardest when we had that late June freeze. In particular, this one was like, I think it only had its very top leaves were still alive, and it actually has tomatoes. So proud of it. So proud. I have picked a couple of big guys off of these in just the last couple of days. So lots of fruit on these guys too, which is exciting. Still pretty small, but I think they'll get there. That's actually my Paul Robeson. And then the rest of these are all paste tomatoes, but look at these. Look at these big guys right here. Isn't that gorgeous? I picked one yesterday that was ripe, about that size. There's more in there. So these, yeah, they're doing great. They're doing great. And here is my Armenian cucumber. So the other cucumbers were my pickling cucumbers. These are my Armenian. And I mean, they're kind of having the same issue as well. I think I caught them sooner. So they're bouncing back, looking a little bit better. But I've only gotten 2 cucumbers off it. And just yesterday, for the first time, I finally found a couple of female flowers. Because it's been flowering all along, but just, yeah, here's one right here. And there's gonna be another one here. But literally those are the first 2 I've seen in weeks. Lots and lots of male flowers, but almost no female. So I wonder if maybe that's an iron thing as well. It just doesn't produce the female flowers. I'm not sure. Anyway, more peppers. These guys are doing well. These are the pepper I can't pronounce. So that one. And they are starting to ripen up, which is fun. Like I said, my Sugar Rush Peach are all just loaded with peppers, which is great. There's a cayenne. It's beautiful. Got some ancho grandes. And then on this side, where the cucumber is as well, we've got more peppers. Jalapenos are finally doing something. Supposedly these are early jalapenos, and yeah, they've been pretty not early at all. Leeks are doing good. They definitely have some room to grow though. And then these tomatoes, I actually ended up with, well, you can see right here, a whole batch of them with blossom end rot. And I don't know why, but I've been pulling them off as I find them because I don't want the plant to put effort into making them, growing them to fruition. But then, you know, the next batches are fine. So again, I'm gonna take what I can get. Here's another one. It's a bummer. I mean, I've probably thrown away 50 tomatoes off of these, but they keep flowering. So I'm wondering if because I'm pulling off those tomatoes, because these are indeterminate and they should, you know, just have one flush of fruit, but they seem to be doing pretty good. And over here, I finally have some bean action. Beans definitely must be too. I mean, you can even see they're yellowing, and you can see the green veining. So, but at least they're growing and don't look like those guys over there. However, I did actually pull like 7 beans off of that yesterday. So, I'm not gonna get many, but I'll get a few, maybe a couple meals worth. And then my cabbage, I've pulled 3. And that one I can probably pull, but these are later cabbages. So, well, that one's getting a decent head. But yeah, they're just getting eaten alive by these stupid moths. So we'll get a couple more small heads. Nothing to write home about, but we don't eat a ton of cabbage, so it'll be fine. All right, and then over here, it's pretty sad that I live in Idaho and I completely failed at potatoes. I mean, good gracious. This is as big as they got, and they're dying back now. So, which means they're pretty much done. And some of them like just never did anything at all. The weed is bigger than the potato. So, yeah, definitely not expecting much of a harvest. But you know, if I at least get the 13 pounds that I planted, I will call it a win. These sunflowers are doing great as well. And then my squash also had some kind of an issue. Though I think that it was like a fungus or something like that, because I sprayed with a organic spray of some kind that's supposed to help with that, and they all started getting some significant new green growth after that. I do have one little baby pumpkin right there. This is a Jacoby little, so it's not supposed to be big, but super cute. And I did finally see my first couple of female flowers. Oh, yes. Right there, you see them? Those will turn into little zucchinis. Hopefully soon. They'll be my first. And look at this guy. He's just freaking massive. And again, these are the ones that like were black and just little stubbly things after that late June freeze. So it's just amazing what a garden will do even after being stunted like that so badly. I don't have any pumpkins on this one yet. Oh, there's one here. So hopefully we will get some. But yeah, like it really wants to grow into the raspberries. Just keeps going and going. Oh, there's another one. They're so cute. And I do have actual raspberries. Obviously still green, although I do have had a couple red. I mean, clearly I'm not gonna get anything major out of these, but kind of fun that I actually do get some raspberries, and they are so good. Just so sweet. So yeah, that's the majority of the garden. Honestly, I just love coming out here. It's I come out every morning to water, and then I come out every night. And I actually, I didn't come out last night because it was raining, and I missed it. I missed my little walk through the garden. Even if I don't harvest anything or do anything, it's like a balm to my soul. I love it so much. So let's go check out the greenhouse. I do think it's kind of funny. I was watching back to the July garden tour, and I was so excited about how big everything was then. But as you can see, like everything is just so much bigger. But the one that is super crazy is this guy. This apparently is a mammoth sunflower that I should not have planted in a thing with a ceiling. Because, yeah, unfortunately, the blossom head actually broke off. So I won't even get a flower. But apparently sunflowers are really good for the soil, so you know, I'll let that do its thing, because this one I don't think I'm gonna get a blossom off it either. But I think these ceilings are, oh gosh, they have to be at least 14 feet, maybe even 16 feet. So these guys are just massive, just so huge. Anyway, the rest of the greenhouse tomatoes, this is my Juliet. I've been picking lots of those, which is very fun. As you can see, got quite a few little ones in there almost ready. And they're delicious. And then these guys are pretty loaded down with fruit as well. These are all paste tomatoes. That is predominantly what I planted. And this is another Paul Robeson. I actually had picked a couple off of this that have ripened up, but you can see down there some big guys. Oh my goodness, is this one? No, it's two. Still, they're pretty big. And this guy. So I'm just letting it kind of wind its way up through the cattle panel. And this is a Nebraska wedding tomato, and supposedly it's a determinate, but I'm pretty sure it is not a determinate because it keeps getting suckers and they keep growing up and up. So if you ever see Nebraska wedding and it says it's determinate, it's not. Pretty much positive. And then this is one of my pickling cucumbers I put in here, and it is doing fantastic. So I've gotten quite a few cucumbers off of that guy. And I do, actually there is a San Marzano back here too, just kind of scraggly. But there is also an Armenian. This is the Armenian here. I need to build some more, put up some more string for him. I haven't gotten any fruit off of that guy yet. That's okay. And then these are, again, that pepper I can't pronounce. It starts with a T. They're huge, but not showing any color yet, and they are supposed to turn fully red. But my serranos are doing great. I've got lots of them. Another Sugar Rush Peach, more serranos, and then these are my jalapenos that I got from Home Depot, and I've actually gotten quite a few off of here, these plants already, which is awesome. In fact, I'm probably going to pick this guy right here, and I'm gonna make some pico tonight because I have a whole lot of cherry tomatoes that need to get used. I'm gonna get one of these Juliets too. Maybe. It's so good. The pico that I made a couple days ago, pico de gallo, with all homemade onions, homegrown onions, garlic, jalapeno, tomatoes, cilantro. Both David and I were like, this is the best stuff I have ever freaking tasted. It was just amazing. So we're gonna be making more of that. All right, so that's it. That is my garden in August. You know, like I said, some good, some bad, but considering how long it has been since I actually gardened. And I've never gardened on this scale, not since I was a kid, and that was really my mom gardening. So the fact that I'm getting anything from this garden, I'm pretty proud of that fact. Oh, and I do want to show you one more thing. My green stock and my flower beds up at the house, because I haven't ever showed you guys that. So, and they're doing fantastic. So I do just want to show you my two other mammoths that have, their heads are all bent over. This guy used to be as tall as that one, maybe even taller actually. But look at how big that head is. Isn't that so cool? All those seeds. And that one over there is doing the same thing. So, very fun. This is actually my first time growing sunflowers. I love them. I've always loved them. But I've just never had any luck. And I don't know if it's just because we've always lived in the more temperate side of the Pacific Northwest and it's just too cool and they like heat. I don't know, honestly. But this is what I want to show you. So all of these guys are plants I started from seed. And I, again, am just so proud of myself. I mean, all these petunias, I know it looks like a complete hodgepodge, and it completely is. I've got petunias, celosia, I have herbs in there, verbena, lobelia, cosmos, and I think I guess all of my marigolds are over there. But yeah, they've just been doing excellent. And one of the things that's really interesting, I've kind of been picking them off, but let's see if I can find one. Yeah, right here. This little guy is actually a seed pod. And I didn't know that petunias did that, but maybe because I grew them from seed, they're not a hybrid, so they're gonna have seeds. So I'm gonna save them and see what happens. But isn't this verbena so pretty? I just love how it's the multicolor. So pretty. Look at that celosia. It's beautiful. And basil that has gone to seed. And then some more basil here. Well, obviously the rose I did not start from seed, but everything else in these pots I did. Looking a little bit draggled. I cut back most of my petunias because they were getting really leggy. Oh, but let me show you this petunia. He is so pretty. Just super frilly. I love that deep dark purple in the middle. Just gorgeous. Little zinnia. And then here is my green stock, which also is doing quite well. Again, I cut back this chamomile as well, and it's kind of doing a new flush of things. Oh, and I didn't show you, you might have seen it, but all of my sweet alyssum has just gone crazy. It's just done such amazing things. So mostly I have herbs, lots of basil, some oregano, some sage down here. I think I have some, rosemary up here. But then I planted a whole bunch of these tiny Tim tomatoes, and it's a miniature tomato. It's not supposed to get big. But look at this, and I have been picking off of these guys like crazy. And they're just absolutely loaded with fruit. It's just crazy. And they're very good. Like, they're super tasty. So that's been really fun. I planted them from seed again back in, I think February. And yeah, they've just done amazing. My pepper, my jalapeno, this is another one of those early jalapenos. I don't even think I have a single pepper. Oh, well, maybe, yeah. Oh, look at that. There's a pepper. Oh, it's just ridiculous. And then the other thing that has really surprised me is my oregano. Where I have it planted, anywhere that I have it planted, I have it in the ground a couple places, I have it in some of my beds. it's just done hardly nothing, which is not my normal experience with oregano. And it shouldn't be the heat. I mean, this is Greek oregano. Greece is not cold or cool. So I don't know. I'm not sure why it hasn't done well. All of my other kind of woody herbs have done quite well. The thyme and the sage and the rosemary. So yeah, I don't know. But yep, and there's another tiny tin. That one doesn't have quite as much fruit on it, but anyway, it's been so lovely. Oh, this is lemongrass. It smells so good. It's doing quite well in its little top spot there. But I love coming out here every day, seeing all these flowers. So next year I'll try and plan a little bit better and hopefully have like a more formal look to it. But I am enjoying the hodgepodge as it is right now. All right, so garden, August 2023.